The biggest thing is just faith and persistence, not giving up, not stopping when it looks like it's the end and you're not going to be able to do it. But I think if you are committed in being successful and have the right people around you, then you're well on your way.
It's not about watching the clock, it's about doing everything that you can to be successful. And as my grandfather said to me when I told him I was going into business, he said, young man, one of the things you have to do is you have to work while others are asleep. And he's really correct about that. There are times when at 3 in the morning, I'm up making notes, or I'm up on the computer trying to make sure I capture everything that's hitting me at that particular precise moment in time.
Welcome back to the Emerging Business Report. We're talking with Warren Brown, owner of Cake Love and Love Cafe. So Warren, let's talk a little bit about all of the work that you do in the community, because you're one that believes that success also means going out and giving back and helping young people who might want to go into business for themselves.
I do. I think it's important for anyone that's a business owner to make sure that they share the message of what it is what they're doing to the youngsters out there. And really people who are older too, because everyone wants to learn. I mean, I get a lot of people that come into my shops and ask me, well, how did I get started? How did I decide to leave law to go into baking cakes? What was it that, gave me that inclination that I could succeed? Where did I get the confidence from? I think you got to get out there and speak. You got to share your message, because people in the United States want to go into business for themselves and be an entrepreneur, and they want to be self-sufficient, but a lot of us either don't have the actual tools and the know-how to do it, which we can learn.
But a lot of people are afraid too.
That's the larger issue, yeah. And that's the thing. And that's where it's important for someone who has taken that leap and that step to get out there and put a face towards, here's someone who did make the leap. Here's someone who faced the fear and went beyond that. Answer a few questions on the side for someone who has the gumption to go up and ask them, and you've done your service, you've done your duty. But I think it's really important for people to do that.
And when you go out into the community and you talk to youngsters in particular who think or don't know how challenging it can be and don't know where to start or where
What do I tell them?
Yes, what do you tell them?
I tell them it's extremely hard.
You tell them the truth.
yeah, I'm not lying out there. I'm trying to get people into something that they don't want to be in and get them in over their head. I'm a person who likes to be very honest and forthright. And when you are like that, I think that you can do a very good service for somebody else who's listening and willing to listen. Young kids who ask me and come and watch and get a feel for what I'm doing, whether it's through Kid Power DC, a group that I'm on the board of, or in a school, when they come and ask me, I want to share with them what's happening. In an age-appropriate way, of course, but I always want to disclose to them the truth of what's happening. And I think that that's really important no matter what the subject matter is.
You're also the author of 2 cookbooks. Tell us about those.
Sure. I wrote Cake Love, How to Bake Cakes from Scratch, with recipes from my bakery and from my head about how I love cakes and explaining my method and my approach to baking. And then I recently published United Cakes of America.
I love that title, by the way, United Cakes of America.
Totally. And that's a lot of my love affair with American culture and looking at the United States through the lens of a cake, and a way to have fun with it, a way to understand that there's a lot of baking going on throughout the U.S. that is, homespun and from scratch and, just delicious, but not something that looks like a theme cake or what, I mean, it's just something that is just down home. I also I love geography, and I love, bringing all that stuff together. So United Cakes was an idea that I had before I even wrote the first cookbook.
Okay, all right.
And I had a lot of fun doing it.
What have been some of your biggest business successes?
Biggest business successes has been, I think, really just sharing the story of lawyer turned baker. I mean, that's the best thing I've ever done, was to follow my passion, to get into the kitchen, and making sure to bring that story to life in a way that other people find interesting, you know.
Well, we're certainly glad that you joined us here on the Emerging Business Report, and we wish you continued success.
Thank you.
Please keep baking those cakes so I can keep eating them.
Thank you very much.
And thanks again for joining us today here on the Emerging Business Report. Please be sure to tune in for the next edition. Have a good day.